So only 5% conscious. That 5% conscious is going to be creating the systems and what does my morning routine look like? What do I do during the day? What does my night routine look like? Etc. That's my conscious system. The 95% is all our trauma, childhood beliefs, everything that anything to do in our past is stored. Women have a lot of limiting beliefs around can't do it. I'm not good enough. I don't stick to anything. I'm just fat. Like all these limiting beliefs. And they don't realize that they're actually the ones, those beliefs is what's keeping them stuck.
Welcome to another episode of the Hayley Morecambe podcast. I am so excited you're here for showing up for yourself, your self-love and self-worth. Each week, I gift you the permission and the space to claim the most happy, healthy, abundant life and give you access to the most sparkliest version of you. On this journey together, we'll learn and grow and thrive to be the best version of ourselves. We don't settle for anything less than incredible. I'm your host, Hayley, a women's wellness and mindset coach with over a decade of industry experience. I'm the founder of my signature program, Naturally Well. I'm a writer, a former radio host and journalist, and all-round wellness guru. I'm a mama to the most divine little girl and a fur parent to a cheeky little cavoodle. I am so pumped to take you into another magical episode. Are you ready? Let's go. Today, I'm joined by Sara McNelis, a manifestation and human design mentor, speaker, and someone who has spent over 16 years helping women transform not just their bodies, but their beliefs, their identity, and their entire lives. And this conversation goes way beyond surface level health. If you've been following along to this podcast for a while, you will know this is a very aligned chat. It is what I embody and teach also. We talk about why so many women stay stuck in cycles of self-sabotage, even when they're doing all the right things, how your subconscious beliefs are quietly shaping your body, your habits, and your results, and what it actually means to transform your body through your mind. Because as Sara shares, 95% of our thoughts are unconscious, which means most of what's driving your results, you're not even aware of. How wild is that? We dive into identity work, manifestation, nervous system regulation, and the small daily practices that actually rewire who you are from the inside out. And what I love most about this conversation is that it brings you back to your power. Not in a fluffy, just think positive kind of way, but in a grounded, practical, this is how you actually change your life kind of way. So if you've been feeling stuck, frustrated, or like your body just isn't responding the way it used to, this is your reminder. You are not broken. You are not lacking discipline. You are simply operating from an old identity that no longer serves you. And the moment you shift that, everything else starts to follow. If you've been waiting for a sign to do things differently, this is it. Okay, let's dive in. Welcome to the show, Sara.
Thank you for having me.
So super pumped for this topic. I was actually thinking when I was doing my makeup before, I'm like, what a great topic we're going to speak on today. It's going to be epic.
We are going to want to talk for longer than the hour, that's for sure.
Yeah, exactly. All right, let's jump into rapid fire questions to kick things off. So the first one, Sara, is if you could swap lives with anyone in the whole world for a day, who would it be and why?
The Capricorn side of me wants to say someone in business to really kind of learn all of their systems and how their brain works. And at the moment I'm loving Maria Wendt. She's just a gun at business. But then the Gemini side of me, the fun side, I would want to say a man.
Okay.
I would love to be a man for a day.
I love that. No one's ever said that before.
Just to see what it's like. I mean, how fun.
It would, wouldn't it? Like to
Hang out with
actually,
the boys, like just to see how they go through their day compared to us.
Yes. I love
We're
that because
so
you know how
feelings like, we are in our heads so much and we feel so much. And I'm like, what's going on for them?
Exactly. That's so funny you said that because I was thinking this the other day. Yeah, women are supposed to have up to double the amount of thoughts as men. Wouldn't it be cool to actually experience what that's like? Like, what is it like to think less?
Yeah. I know, like when I've dated and I've said to them, what are you thinking? And they're like, nothing. And I'm like, what do you mean? no, no, nothing. And I'm like, so nothing's going on right now. And they're like, nope. And I'm like, wow, that must be amazing. They're like, what about you? And I'm like, 20,000 thoughts right now.
Yeah. And they're probably looking at their toes going, that middle toe is slightly taller than the other toe next to it. Like they might not be thinking about anything of importance.
No, nothing. They're
They're just in
nothing.
the...
They're like, no, nothing. And that's why they fall asleep like this,
Yeah, exactly.
because they just have less thoughts than us. So yeah, I would
Mm.
love to be a man just for one day though. Just one day. 'Cause
Yeah,
I love to be
exactly.
a girl.
Yeah.
One day, one and done.
Girls are the best.
Yeah.
Love it. Love it. Thanks for sharing that. Number 2 is, what's the first thing you do in the morning to start your day on a positive note?
I love this question. I do the same thing every single morning. I wake up and I meditate for 22 minutes. I do Vedic meditation, and then I go straight downstairs to my kitchen and I have a big glass of filtered water with 10 grams of creatine. I have a Barocca in there. I have a hydrolyte and I have my probiotic, and then I make breakfast. So, and I also, when I'm on the toilet, I've got my mantras. I've got I'm a post-it queen. So I have my mantras, whatever I'm rewiring at that particular time. I've got some mantras on my bathroom window. So while I'm doing my morning wee, read my mantras as well, just to really rewire my subconscious.
Yeah, which we'll get into in a tick. I love that because it's like optimizing what you're doing, right? Like people think you have to spend all this time doing things, but it's like saturate your environment. That's what I always say. Put things everywhere, in your office, in your bathroom, in your toilet, in your kitchen, like everywhere. Just
Everywhere.
saturate your environment with the highest thoughts and beliefs possible.
Because, if you think about, I've got friends and even clients that, will do an hour morning routine. And I'm like, that's great. I just, I get up a little bit earlier to do my meditation. And then I could spend 10 minutes rewiring, but I don't. I just do little tiny practices that take a couple of minutes, or whilst I'm doing something else. And whilst I'm making breakfast, I'm more than likely 90% of the time I'm listening to, I'm watching a YouTube clip on the side, and it's whether it's like educational or whether it's, around, manifestation or something that is going to help me grow. More than likely, there's always something going on for me in the background.
Yeah, I love that. And again, saturating your environment instead of the other things that are going to lower your vibration and your energy, which is like doom scrolling or even just watching the TV or watching the news or listening to the radio. It's like, I love that. I love that so much.
Well, I don't watch the news at all. I've really got, most
Same.
of the time, I've got no idea what's going on in the world.
Same.
And just talking about dating again, I always seem to find out what's going on in the world when I date, because men watch the news. And they'll tell me and I'll be like, oh my God, wow.
Yeah. Well, I always think if it's important enough, you will find out about it, especially when we, access to, you and I spend time on Instagram. Like you find things out through the big things out through, someone will say something or, someone close to you will let you know. But yeah, I love that. Actually, question before we go on to the next one. These are not so rapid fire questions, but I'm loving them. Why 22 minutes for your meditation?
By the way, nothing's rapid fire with me.
This is what's so great about a
It's always
podcast.
a conversation.
Yes.
22 minutes. It's 2 lots of 20-minute practices a day. And I'm really great at the first 20 minutes. The second 20 minutes, which you're supposed to do later in the day, that's not always the best for me. Sometimes I don't get to do it. But the 2 minutes at the end, because the first 20 minutes, it's a silent meditation, except you're repeating a special mantra that your guru gave you. So for the 20 minutes, you're just like in silence and you're repeating this mantra in your head. And then then the timer will go off to say 20 minutes is done. And then for the next 2 minutes, it's releasing the mantra and not thinking about the mantra. And I guess really just coming back to your body.
That's Vedic meditation, right?
Vedic meditation, yes.
Yep.
And so they say the 2 minutes at the end is like just as important as your 20-minute practice. Like if you're going to do the 20, you need to be doing the 2 at the end. So that's why it's a 22-minute practice.
Did you do a course for that? Because I've always wanted to do a Vedic meditation course.
Yeah, I did a course that took a week. I did a course in Bondi Meditation Center. with his name's Matt, and he's been doing it for a long, long, long time. And it's really exceptional. The stories that you hear from people that have been doing Vedic meditation in particular has completely changed their life. And even when I went and did the course, I remember Matt said at the very beginning to everyone, he said, if someone said to me, would you choose $1 million, or I think it was even more than that, or you can have all this money, but you have to walk away from meditation. You can't do the Vedic meditation ever again. What would you choose? And he said, I would choose meditation. I would never take the money. He said, because that is how much it has changed my life.
Yeah. And also, if you were doing the meditation, it's like you were actually attracting in abundance anyway.
Totally. Like, even I was on an amazing podcast, Chris Beatty, and he actually is the one that got me onto the Vedic meditation. And he stopped drinking. He met his partner. He come out of being an avoidant and more into a secure. He started his podcast. Like, so many stories have come from people doing Vedic meditation.
Oh, you've inspired me. Thanks, Sarah. I've been making this little list of all the things that I am bringing into my life this year, and I'm definitely going to add the Vedic meditation course because that is
I'll send you the link to him, because I'm sure, because I know we're in different states, I'm sure there would be an online, like an opportunity to do it online.
yeah, for
'Cause
sure.
it was amazing. And you always get like emails and things like that to follow through with the education.
Yeah, that's so great. Yeah, thanks for sharing that. I was supposed to hear
My
that
pleasure.
today. Thank you.
Yes, you were. Yes.
Yeah. And number 3, if you could choose one superpower to help you in business or life, what would it be and why?
This is the one that I got stuck on.
Yeah.
And you know what I would love to do? I would love to be able to get into people's heads.
Yeah.
I would love to be able to be a voice in people's heads, to tell them that there is more for them, to tell them to be brave, to tell them to follow their gut instincts and to follow the feeling. I would love to be able to speak to women, just to really kind of support them, push them towards their highest calling.
Yes. I love that so much. Over the years, it's funny you even say that. Over the years, I've always thought I would love to jump into the bodies of some of my clients. And I know this is not like teaching them. Maybe if you leave the wisdom behind, maybe you're rewiring their subconscious mind and you're leaving that behind. But I'd love to jump into the bodies and do like just experiment, be like, okay, what if I did this and, spent my days doing this and eating this way and thinking this way, like how that could actually transform, their bodies and their life? Wouldn't that be so cool? Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. I love that. I love
Yeah. Well, thank you for sharing those rapid, not so rapid fire answers. They were so great. So let's get into you and your story, Sarah.
Yes.
How do you describe what you do and ultimately like what led you here? Because everyone in this industry has a story that's, lived experience that's led them to what they're doing now.
I teach women how to transform, and that is through identity work. And people think that I'm generally just a fitness person because I have owned gyms for the last 16 years. But I teach people how to create change in their bodies, in their finances, in their careers, within love, their relationships. And I do that through human behavior, nervous system regulation, neuroscience, and practical strategies. So that's what I do.
Yeah, I love that. And what was your story beforehand? Like what were you doing before that?
Well, I've been owning gyms for 16 years, so I've been in that space for an exceptionally long time. But what actually led me into the human behavior and the neuroscience, and then learning, I flew all the way to Switzerland and I learned under Joe Dispenza. I wanted to learn the science behind, manifesting and things like that. But what actually led me to that path, because I feel like I've had a lot of lives. It was about, gosh, maybe about 4 or 5 years ago. And I was so deeply miserable. I was the unhappiest that I could have been. I was in a trauma bond relationship with my son's father. I was feeling really uninspired, unmotivated when it came to my gym. And that's something that I've always thrived within, owning the gym. And my friendships, some of my closest friends had moved away. And so I was feeling really lonely, uninspired, unhappy. And I was living like this for a little while. And then one day I woke up and I just remember saying to myself, I refuse to live like this anymore. I cannot do this anymore. Like, I'm all about we get one life and how great can we make it. And so from that point, I was like, I need to start working on myself because I've always loved personal development and inner work. And I hadn't been doing it, having a child and being in this trauma bond relationship and going through COVID and all those types of things. I hadn't been doing any of that. That work had fallen away for me. And so I was like, right, the first thing that I need to do is start doing the inner work again, the things that make me feel good. So I enrolled in a breathwork workshop. Randomly, the universe delivered it, came up on my Instagram feed, and the workshop was in very close to my home, which was crazy because the boys that were facilitating it are from.
Yeah, right.
So I went and did this workshop, and I remember sitting there in this really big circle. There was probably like 20 something people. And I remember sitting there and I was like, even though I've got a gym, it was different. I was like, I love the space, the energy, what they've created. I love how people are really tapping into the inner self. And I was like, I'm going to do something similar. And then I just started, and then the universe just put me on a path. I just kept following the breadcrumbs, and the universe put me on a path I've been manifesting for, I would like to say, close to 20 years now. When The Secret first came out, I was in my mid-20s. And so I've been manifesting since then. And the universe was just sending me breadcrumbs to be like, you're going to be a manifestation speaker and coach. And that's just how it all began. And then, I'm leading workshops, online programs, retreats, everything now. But I've now combined my body transformation side of things in with the manifestation side of things.
Yes, I love that so much. I mean, I can relate to a lot of your story. I've been like a personal trainer for 15 years, and it was always that superficial side of things. It was like training women in the gym, like, making them feel really good, giving them, maybe throwing them a food plan, which was literally on like one A4 piece of paper. It was like, follow this. It was like a grid, Monday to Friday or Monday to Sunday. It was like, follow this. And then, yeah, same thing. It was finding like, this isn't working. There's so much more to life, particularly, outside of the gym, then, we've got to look at our stress, what we're thinking, how we're living, what we're believing, and all of that. And I look back on it and I'm like, imagine going back to that place without what we know. Like, imagine if what we know now and how we know to manifest our dream life and to literally go for things and transform our bodies and all those things. Like, imagine if we didn't know that now. Wouldn't life just look so different?
It would look like what it looked like 10, 15 years ago.
Mm.
But now it's like we have that cherry on top.
Mm-hmm.
People are becoming more aware that they don't just need systems now. Yes, systems are great, but systems are going to be reliant on motivation, and the systems aren't actually is what is going to sustain that transformation.
Yeah.
If we don't do the rewiring of the subconscious, you are going to stay on that hamster wheel. You're going to achieve it potentially with the systems in place, but you are going to go right back to the way you were if you are not rewiring those core negative beliefs that you have about yourself. So
Yeah, exactly.
it's like now we're living in an era where we just have all this education and information about how to take our transformation, how to take our life to the next level.
Yeah, let's talk about that. Changing your body and your transformation through the power of your mind, right? Like, what does that actually mean? Like, let's riff on this because I love it.
Well, I always just say to people, most people they've got their subconscious limiting beliefs. We're 95% unconscious thoughts. So only 5% conscious. That 5% conscious is going to be creating the systems and what does my morning routine look like? What do I do during the day? What does my night routine look like? Etc. That's my conscious system. The 95% is all our trauma, childhood beliefs, everything that anything to do in our past is stored. Women have a lot of limiting beliefs around, I can't do it. I'm not good enough. I don't stick to anything. I'm just fat. Like all these limiting beliefs. And they don't realize that they're actually the ones, those beliefs is what's keeping them stuck. And, I've even got a client who, every client has a story, has a limiting belief, but one, a girl said to her when she was I think 6 or 7. And a girl said to her in primary school, "You've got a fat stomach." And I tell you what, this client of mine, we've been working together for a long time now. She always has a thing about her stomach, and she's a beautiful, athletic, fit woman. And she's always like, "Sarah, my stomach." So we just do shit tons of rewiring because that has been stored. And by the way, she didn't even know she had that belief. It
Yeah.
wasn't until we did a one-on-one together and we did an integration, and I took her nice and deep and, and relaxed her nervous system. And I was able to say, "How old does that part of you feel that has a fat stomach and what was happening?" And then that came up. Everybody has versions of that is holding them back. So that's what sets me apart from other fitness coaches is I do the human behavior side of things. Because
Mm,
without that, you're going to go back to the way that you were. I'm sorry, that's just how it is. Like, that's just the science
yeah.
of it. Yeah.
Yep. And those, like you said, the 95% of those thoughts, that's what's literally creating that your reality. And you don't even know you're thinking that. Like that woman was walking around thinking that about her tummy, and she could probably get the most perfectly toned tummy too. But if she is not doing that work, she's just going to keep bringing it back, right? Those thoughts back to her tummy. Like she could look perfect, but still going to have that deeply ingrained thought. Uh, there's so much to this. Like I've had women talk about I hate my legs. I hate my legs. It's like a really big thing for women. I'm finding I hate my legs. I don't wear shorts. It's because somewhere along the line, maybe their mum or even their grandmother used to say that, or their auntie used to say that, I don't like my legs. And it's all of a sudden you like develop this like relationship or connection to your legs because of this thought that's just going over and over and over again.
That's right. Like we take on everything, I have this, I'm actually working right now on my limiting beliefs around money. And just because I know my capacity is already where it's at and it's gotten me to where I am. And it's pretty good. Live waterfront in Sydney. I can see the Harbour Bridge. I drive a beautiful car. I have nice clothes and all those types of things. But money comes to me, but then it can go.
Mm-hmm.
So I know I have limiting beliefs about money staying.
Yes.
So I really kind of sat with that, and the tools that I use on my clients, I used it on myself. And I figured out that my mum was shocking with money, like terrible with money. We grew up very poor anyway. There was no money anyway. But when she did have money, she blew it. I remember going to a supermarket when I was a kid, and my mum had just gotten a new credit card. Or maybe I just know she got a credit card and she was like, we're doing our groceries. And she said, "Get whatever you want. We're putting it on credit." And she was so excited. I remember that, and I must have only been about 12. And then I also remember she inherited she inherited a house when he passed on. She ended up gambling that away.
Mm-hmm.
So have subconscious limiting beliefs that yes, you can get money, but it's going
It
to go.
goes. Yeah.
And so I'm realizing that's kind of what's happening with me, like I'll have money and then I went through a litigation, which was, a couple of $100,000 or just under,
Mm,
and or things like that, or something will happen. And then my house the other week, sewage filled my house for 2 days. That was like 3K,
yeah.
like little things like that. And I'm like, I know shit happens and there's always
Yeah.
sometimes things just happen. But for me and who I am and the coach that I am, I'm like, let's go deeper. What's really going on? And I was like, I've still got rewiring to do when it comes to money. So right now I'm working on rewiring my subconscious so my capacity expands to take on, my next set of goals.
Yeah, and you provide a safe home for your money. It's here to stay. Yeah, I love that so much because I mean,
Yeah.
so many people can relate to that. I can relate to that so much.
Oh, all my post-its, all my new post-its, they're like
Yeah,
all around capacity and
saturate your
money.
environment. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Because
Yeah.
like you said, like maybe money came in and then the sewage thing happened to your house and then something else came in and it was like that litigation. It was like you were getting the money to obviously pay for that, but it was going straight back out again. You've got to be so conscious of what you are bringing in. Because I remember a photographer actually who did my photo shoot a little while ago, she was manifesting $50,000. She's like, I want $50,000. $50,000 is going to come into my awareness. And then her car, she had I think it was like a BMW or something. She had a car that broke down and needed a $50,000 motor in that had to be replaced in her car. So she had the money to pay for that, but she wasn't very specific and clear on that money was going to not stay. Do you know what I mean? Like it was going to go straight back out, came in, she manifested it, but it went straight back out to the mechanics.
I would love to be having a chat with her because that's fascinating.
Yeah.
Sometimes things just happen, like it's
Mm,
life, like, cars break, your house can flood, whatever it is. Sometimes things just do happen, but I do believe it's nice to kind of just sit back and go, is there anything there that is blocking me from, that next level of abundance? Or is there anything sitting there that has a deeper meaning? And maybe something, it might not be. It might just be like, this just happened. Like it's
mm,
life. Like we get bills. But for me, I just knew that there was, because of my childhood, I just knew that there was work there to be done.
mm.
So it's a reminder.
Yeah. And like Georgie Stevenson always says, if you're telling yourself that you're abundant, and you can put this to anything, even health and body. If you're telling yourself you're abundant, you are like, I'm abundant, I'm wealthy, and then a bill comes in and you complain about it and go, "Oh my gosh, how am I going to pay for this? I can't."
Rewrite.
Yeah, it's like you're not abundant anymore. You're going you're going into that lack mindset. So when the bill comes in, when that everything comes in, it's like, I'm abundant. I can easily pay for this. I can pay for that parking fine. That's fine. I've got the money. I've got the wealth. I'm abundant.
That's right. It's really just changing the way that, you are receiving, that things are coming and going. That's exactly
Mm,
right. And one of my mantras is, I, receive money in expected and unexpected ways.
yes,
And
that's my
also,
favorite too.
the money that I spend comes back
Yes.
to multiplied in unexpected ways.
Yeah.
Like it's just reframing. And when I pay my wages to my team at the gym, instead of me going, oh my God, this is like thousands and thousands of dollars are coming out of my account every week, I say to myself, I'm so grateful for this fucking team. Like I just sit in the gratitude of having these amazing people that we all get to work together every day.
Yeah.
So it's just really, but you have to become conscious of what's going on.
Yes, that's it. Gabby Bernstein says she pray before you pay. So it's like when you go to pay the bill, it's like, I am so grateful that I have the money to pay this bill. Like I am so abundant, I get to pay this. Money will, like you said, money comes to me in expected and unexpected ways. It's not always through your job. It's not always, like I listen to abundance frequency music, and I swear every time I do that, it's like some form of abundance will come in, whether I get a phone call and they're like, oh, we accidentally overcharged you last month on your power bill. Here's a refund. Like it'll come through in so many different ways. And it's the same. You go.
I was going to say, just because it's a podcast, and we want people to, take things away, but a really beautiful little thing that you can do whenever I work with people, even if it's just through my master classes that I offer every month, I always say to people, you have your big manifestations and they're, usually 1 to 2, and they're kind of the big ones. It could be career, body, finance, whatever it is. And then you've got your medium-sized one, and they're just more the ones that compound to get to your big one. But then I tell people always to have mini goals, like mini manifestations. And it could be like, it also tells your subconscious mind that this is real. But it's little things that where you then become consciously aware of all the gifts that we are given every single week. Like it's like, I would like flowers, coffee, like someone takes me out for dinner, a gift voucher, like whatever it might be, something that you really want is now on sale.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just remembering that there's so much magic, and remembering just the little things as well. Like last week I was given, separately on separate days, because I love flowers. And I was given a bunch of flowers when I went and bought my face cream, where I get my face care cream from. They gave me a bunch of flowers. My girlfriend bought me a bunch of flowers. Oh, and actually another girlfriend bought me a beautiful candle. And they're two things that I love. And I sat in that and I went, thank you, universe.
Yeah.
It's the universe going, hey, you're sitting in this frequency right now, and here's more of this frequency. But if you're sitting in a space of lack, scarcity, fear, you are only going to be attracting more of those things.
Yeah, exactly. That's right. And let's put it towards health as well, and your body. How does it work there? Like if you're in that lack, that's even what you're saying, like with the money, right? It's not going to stay. Like if you drop weight, you feel really good. It's not going to stay. I'm going to go back again. Like how can we start working around those thoughts?
The first thing that I do with my clients is, we need to figure out what's going on up there. We need to find out
First.
what is actually holding them back before we can plan forward. And what I do is, I'll say to someone, what is your goal? and they'll say their goal and say it's to be, they just want to enter their fit girl era. They want to be the most fittest they've ever been. They want to have, a tight, flat stomach. They want to feel strong and just really confident. And so I say to them, okay, that's wonderful. Now, when you think about that and having that and achieving that, what comes to your mind? I don't stick to anything. I can't do it. I'm not worthy. I'm not good enough. I will never be able to achieve that. That's just completely out of reach for me. Other people, yes, me, no. So then we uncover what's going on. And then I just give them practical strategies to rewire that. And it's mantras is a one way, and it's so easy to do. We touched on it before. Post-it notes, do your post-it notes with your mantras, read them 3 times a day for at least, 60 to 90 days to rewire. You can create scripts that go for 1 minute to 2 minutes long, and you can just record it on your phone on voice recorder, and that just plays back, and it plays back this fit girl era that you're entering, what she looks like, what she feels like, what she's wearing, how she's nourishing her bodies, what her morning routine looks like. But it's all rewiring without you even realizing. So then when I say to you in 3 months' time, hey, so when you think about, that fit girl era, that fit girl that you're becoming, what are your thoughts? And they're like, fucking got this. Like, this is me. This is who I am. And physically, I might not still be there. Like, I'm on my way, yeah. But, it might be a bigger journey than 3 months. They might be like, but I am there. I'm feeling it. I'm living it. This is who I am.
I love that. I think Joe Dispenza says this, or maybe it's Louise Hay. It's like 651 times or something for one mantra for it to start solidifying and start rewiring those thoughts and beliefs and creating that neuroplasticity in our brain, which is not really that many times.
Like, I'm actually wish I was a calculator, because it's really 3 times a day. But you've got multiple. So say you've got 5. So you
Yeah.
read at least 3 times a day. Look, it should be 90 days, but I found in my own personal journey and through my clients, you'll rewire within 2 months.
Yeah.
If you're being really consistent with your rewiring practices, you will then look at that mantra, say 2 months down the track, and you'll be like, oh, that doesn't even resonate with me right now.
Yeah.
Like, that and I'll always be like, I'll grab, if they're on my ring light, I'll be like, oh my God, like that doesn't even align with who I am right now. I've nailed that. And I just like,
Yes, I'm like that with vision boards, dream life scripts. I actually updated mine the other day because I was like, I've already manifested that. I'm already living that. Like, I'm like, let's go bigger, deeper. Like, and it's funny because I
let's
used to
go.
resonate with that so much and it used to light me up. Now I'm like, I'm already at that level. It's like, let's go to the next level and the next level and the next level. That's so good. Because you
So
don't
to
realize
answer
it's
your
helping,
question-
right?
To answer the question, we really just need to be rewiring.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. What are
And
your
those practices are just as important as what food you're putting in your mouth, how you're moving your body, and it's like reps at the gym. The more you do it, it becomes like brushing your teeth. It just will compound and it just become like the norm.
Give us a little list. I find that you probably just channel this straight away. A little list of someone, if a woman or man is listening to this right now and is finding it hard to start rewiring and to start thinking nice thoughts about herself and her body in terms of, getting her towards her health goals, what kind of things could she write on those Post-it notes?
Well, she needs to first, I've never met someone that can't write down the crap that's coming out. I've never had, and I've worked with, hundreds, thousands of people. I've never met someone that can't tell me the negative beliefs. So people will always be able to, and to make it personal and to make it really rewire for you. I can give you your mantras. I can help you what feels good, but you are always better off doing what is actually going on.
Mm-hmm.
So if you've got the core belief, like, I can't do this, then that could be then the opposite. You would create I can do anything that I set my mind to. I love doing hard things, things like that. So it's like putting down on a piece of paper all the negative things that are coming up and that you say to yourself every single day over and over, and then writing the opposite. They become your mantras.
Yeah.
That's what it is. It's actually really simple.
It is, isn't it? I think we overcomplicate it, right? It is so simple. Yeah, I love that.
It's super simple, yeah.
Yeah. So you speak about creating a new identity. So that kind of creates your new identity, right? Because you're kind of aligning yourself with those thoughts. How does identity change someone's body or shift someone's body?
Well, I love talking about I love talking about identity work because the the person that is sitting here today, people don't realize you are going to be creating a completely new identity. Everything is going to change. The way that you potentially look, feel, speak, talk to yourself, nourish your body, move, dress, who you hang around, what your daily habits are, things are going to change. So the person that's sitting here today is going to be a completely different person in 6 or 12 months' time. That's just how it works. To become that identity, there's lots of different practices, but every single morning, wake up as if you've already achieved it, as if you're already living as that person that has achieved that goal. You know, when you're making breakfast, make breakfast as the person that has that dream body, has that fit girl body that they desire. Pretend you've already got it. How would you be standing? How would you be feeding yourself breakfast? How would you then go about your day? You know, it's waking up every single day as if it already exists. And everything is a conscious practice, conscious practice, conscious practice. You
Yeah.
have to be conscious of all the unconscious things that you do.
It's have unwavering faith, I feel, because sometimes we're like in a visual world where we need to see something for us to believe it. But it's like make the unseen seen. Like you said, start acting like that woman as
Yeah.
though she's already got it. Even though if you're picturing like putting on the outfit, even though you don't have the outfit, it's like picture that outfit that you're putting on, picture you
Yeah.
like making, yeah, picture it. And then it makes the unseen seen. And that it literally is that simple, right?
And that's why the mini manifestations, that's why I always get my clients to do, we do, you know, in my mastermind program, when I get them to write out their big manifestations, their medium, and then their minis. And I'm like, the minis, like free sauna session, like whatever it is, like just really basic stuff. And I say to them, the reason is because these are the things that are going to tell your subconscious, oh my God, this is real. And so when you're on a path and say you're 6 months into a manifestation, you're like, nothing's really happening for me right now. But then you're like, you've got all these mini things that are coming through. You're like, oh, it's okay. It's real. And then you're teaching your subconscious, this is real. So yeah, it's because your big manifestations can take time. Like they can
Yeah.
take, you know, a year. They can take 2 years. I mean, by the end of the first year, you will have gotten to some point at that level or that goal. But things can, if it's really big, things can take time, but you can
Yeah.
also collapse time too.
Exactly.
Kind of experimenting with collapsing time at the moment, so I'll let
Me
you know
too.
how I go.
Me too. I'm collapsing time. We're both collapsing time. We are collapsing time. So yes, I feel like that's another podcast episode.
Yes. Well, we'll have to talk. I mean, we're going to catch up in Queensland anyway, but
Yeah,
we'll have to talk because I'm doing an experiment at the moment on collapsing time because I'm going to see if this shit really works.
me too. But like you were saying, yes, I think we just it was supposed to happen today. I love the evidence side of things because it's so funny. I was actually literally thinking about this while I was working out this morning. It's like that's the evidence. Like you said, manifest a free sauna or coffee or whatever it is. That's the evidence that you're going to keep coming back to because our little monkey mind's always going to try and say that's not real. That's not real. But it's like you have to believe in that. And it's like, oh, that's right. I manifested that. Yes, I manifested the car park and the coffee and all of the things. But it's like, if I can manifest that, you can bring in all the big things too.
Yeah. And manifestation is, just to be very clear, manifestation is 90% discipline. I mean, 10%, I believe, is clarity, getting very clear on what you want, because without clarity, what are you doing?
Exactly.
There's no roadmap, there's no alignment with the universe, there's no nothing. But the rest is aligned action,
Mm-hmm.
which is discipline. So when people come to work with me, well, the first thing that we do, the very first thing that we do is the clarity.
Mm-hmm.
Get very clear on what they want. And then the rest is just mapping it out. And that's also working with, you know, that is working with manifestation tools, but then that's working with the neuroscience tools, you know. So it's, yeah, it's combining both.
Yeah, because you can't just sit at home in the lotus pose all day and go, I'm manifesting a dream car, I'm manifesting a dream home. Like, you've got to follow it up with
No,
action. But that
you
but that is
actually,
it's
yeah.
yeah, getting clear on it. Okay, what can I take action for that? And then it's like everything else just comes in.
The universe starts because we're all energy, and this is the Joe Dispenza work. And everything is energy, and energy attracts the same energy. So it's once you start taking aligned action and your frequency starts to rise, the energy is going to come in and match that. And that's when all those magical things, people, places, spaces
Hmm.
start to appear. And, you know, that's manifesting. Manifesting
Yeah.
is a game of science, really. But yeah, that's manifesting.
And it's fun. They say like your manifestations happen when it's like fun. It's like you have fun with it. Like I love the thought of just because it's always is when you're literally having fun, right? Like when you're just like relaxed, you're like living life. It's funny because when I always go on holiday, it's like sometimes I'll be away from my phone and, like really in the moment and you're like in the present moment, you're having fun and you're laughing. And then you might look at the phone, like opportunities come in. And then just like all these things that you're like, oh, that's funny. I was just thinking about that person. Now they've just messaged me. It's like that. There's a quote by Gabby Bernstein. I actually can't remember it. She says something about that. It's like it happens when you're having fun.
We manifest from our nervous system. And when our
Hmm.
nervous system is regulated, so that makes so much sense that when you're on holidays, things are starting to appear because when your nervous system is regulated, that's actually where we manifest from. And there's another thing that I really work with women with is their nervous system regulation. Because if you're in fight or flight, or if you're in, really flat and freeze and things like that, nothing magical is going to come from being in that state. So when your nervous system is relaxed, and that's still joyful, fun, love, that's all those beautiful emotions and feelings, but that's where you manifest from. So
Mm,
yeah, when you're on holidays and you're completely chilled and you're just in the moment and just filled with joy, that's like you're in your manifestation sweet spot.
yeah. I feel like, so you and I met at the Madeline Carafa's magnetic self dinner party a few weeks ago. We were all vibing on a really, really high frequency that night. Could you feel that in the room?
Yeah. And just to touch on that, because I was thinking about it when you were speaking before, just to touch on no. So at the end of last year, I had a goal that I wanted to start speaking on podcasts. So I started working with my coach who does a lot of podcasts, and she's an amazing speaker. I started working with my coach, and kind of building that up. And this year, I've got so many, and the goal for this year was to be on 1 to 2 podcasts per month. I'm totally doing way more than that per month now. And with that Queensland dinner that we went to, like I'm from Sydney, and it came up on my feed, and I was like, you know what, I'm going to go because it's going to be like-minded women. So, and this is what the universe loves. The universe loves when you go all in on yourself. And I literally don't know one person. I don't even know how I started following Madeline, for example. She was just a follower of mine recently, maybe from the podcast. And so I took myself to Queensland, didn't know anyone, not a soul. Went to the dinner, then ended up sitting around bunches of amazing women like yourself. And then I've come home and I've landed 4 podcasts just from going for dinner because the universe rewards aligned action. The
And it
universe,
rearranges your reality to put you into that room too. Like it wasn't even, it's almost like you can't even explain it. I was the same, like when that came up on Maddie's feed, every bit of myself was like, get yourself to that dinner. I didn't even look at the date to see if I had my daughter, like if I had my daughter that day. It's like, I just was like, yes, I'm in. It's a whole body yes. And I think if we do more of that in life, like look how far it gets you when you just listen to your intuition, you listen to that like little tap from the universe. It's like, get yourself there, girl. Because, you and I got sat next to each other out of the room, like, and then
yeah,
this is manifested now. Like, it's just when you go all in, like that's where the magic is instead of sitting at home wishing. And I think when you see things, like people may have even seen maybe social media footage that we shared of this. If something's sparking inside of you, that's because you want that too. Like you desire that too. So it's like,
yeah.
how can you start? Same with your health, same with your body. Like sometimes you see other people and you're like, something inside me, maybe it's like a comparison or maybe it's like that jealousy inside, but it's like, that's actually just part of you that really desires that too.
A really great tip that I have for people when they see things that they desire, okay? And so whether it's that body, or the way, someone living their life, or it could be someone in a relationship, or it could be someone that's killing it in business, whatever it is. And instead of looking at them, and we automatically might go, I wish I had that. I
Mm-hmm.
wish that was me. I'm never going to get that, or whatever comes up. You go, that is for me.
Yes.
And even if you start to go, God, I wish I had that, that's totally okay to have those thoughts. We don't want to gaslight the way that we feel. It's then going, that is for me. And so all the time now, I'm just like, that is for me. That is for me. That is for me. I'm trying to really build up my online presence. And, these amazing women that I follow that have got hundreds of thousands of followers, but they're impacting people's lives in a positive way. And instead of me looking at them going, I'm never going to get there, which I still always do. But then I go straight away. It's because it's a conscious thought. I'll go straight away. That is for me.
Yeah. They're your expander. Yeah. Expanders in how many expanders were in the room that were in, a few weeks ago, but you see them as expanders, like someone in a beautiful relationship. They're my relationship expander. Someone in with the body, the health, the life, they're your life and health expanders, business expanders. We can have so many different
That is for
expanders.
me.
Yeah. It's,
I know. I love
yeah,
expanders. I'm filled with expanders always.
same.
I always especially around relationships, like all my friends. I've got the most amazing husbands, and they're just in great relationships. And I'm always like, say I'm over there just having a coffee with my friend or whatever, and their husband's there, and I'm friends with the husbands too, and I'm just like, this is just in my head. I'm just thinking, oh my God, these are just like
The biggest
expand,
expanders.
expand,
Yeah.
expand, expand, expand your capacity. So people know what we're talking about. Expand your capacity to know that this is real.
Yeah, and spend time with those people too. Like if you spent time with people that were in shitty relationships, that's not going to feel good. Like you want to be surrounding yourself with people that are already doing what you're doing. That's like coaching as well. Like I always say, someone could have a million followers out there, but I go on energy. If I'm going to hire a coach, it's like because you get to tap into their energy, their
Yeah,
knowledge, their wisdom, their own manifestations. You tap into them. It's like if someone feels drawn to you, that's because they're meant for you because they're tapping into your energy. It's so
yeah,
powerful.
yeah. No, that's exactly right. God, it's amazing, huh? This
That's
this
so
world
powerful.
that we live in today is like it's huge.
Yep,
It's so expansive, and it's just, we really are in a space right now where we can have anything that we want.
exactly. So great. It's exciting. That just lit me up when you said that. We literally can. We can literally create anything. Anything.
Anything, anything.
Yeah. So, off that, what if someone was stuck in self-sabotage, right? So they might start doing the affirmations and they might start, rewiring these beliefs, but then ultimately they'd lead themselves back into that self-sabotage, whether it's in like food or exercise or relationships or whatever it is. Like, where should they start there if they keep finding they're looping back again?
Look, I strongly believe everyone should be working at some point in their life with a mentor or a coach that can really go deep with them and teach them the tools, because sometimes things are a lot deeper than just a mantra. If people buy my online programs, they do get a part of me, but when you work in my mastermind and then you get a one-on-one, that's when you get to actually go deep and uncover what's really going on. It's like the client that I've had that the girl said to her when she was in primary school, hey, you've got a fat stomach. People really need to be knowing what is going on subconsciously so they can uncover. So there might be a reason why they're sabotage. Well, there will definitely be a reason behind the sabotage, and it's uncovering the reason. So then you can then integrate that into who you are today to then move forward and progress. So I do believe that question is a little bit harder to answer because I do think it's much deeper than just writing down a new to-do list or writing down a mantra. It's like, no, you've really got to uncover what's going on
Yeah, because
back there, the shadows.
yeah, because like so many of those thoughts are subconscious, right? So it's like the coach or the mentor is picking up your blind spots that you don't realize. And anyone, like we as coaches need coaches. We need that.
Or
And the close proximity. I know you love. I love how you speak about all the people that are in your circle that you have surrounded by around you, because when you're supported, then you show up better as a coach, and then you show up more for your clients, and then you help them get better results because you're investing into yourself. And it's like you said, that close proximity. Get as close as you can to someone. If you want, if
work
they're
with
already
a coach.
doing what you're doing, get as close as you can to someone.
Even if you don't necessarily have the money, like I've had people say to me, oh gosh, I can't really afford, say for example, 3K or whatever it might be. And I always do say, trust, if this is something that you want to do, trust that the universe will deliver you the money,
Yeah.
manifest it. But if you really don't have a dollar to your name, then every single coach runs free masterclasses.
Mm.
Over Christmas time, I wanted just to take some time off from my coaching business, my manifestation body transformation business. I just needed a bit of I was figuring out what I was doing, as most of the world was over that time of the
Yeah.
year. And I still wanted to learn. I did so many free masterclasses from coaches from all over the world. I was popping in at all times of the day and the night
Yes. How
because
good
I
is
was
it?
like, I'm going to do their 60-minute free masterclass or, a 90-minute free masterclass. It completely raised my frequency. And even if I walk away from those freebies with one thing, I'm one step closer to achieving my goal.
Yeah, exactly. Again, circling back to the saturate your environment, saturate what you're listening to, because that is going to create, your reality and what you see and how you live. Like
Yeah.
if you're, especially even around the people, like your closest friendships, they say if you're around 5 binge eaters, you'll be the sixth. If you're around, like, just surround yourself with the best energy. I love that.
I always laugh about that because I've got a lot of friends that are in relationships, but then the circle that I hang out with the most, we're all single. That makes sense because we're all single. So we're more like on Valentine's night, we went out for pizza and,
Yeah.
we're more like if something comes up, yep, we'll all be there because we're all available.
Yeah,
And then
exactly.
I always think, holy shit. But I just know, everything's got a space. So yeah, definitely saturate yourself, but also know that things are all, people, places, spaces are also there for a reason.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I love that. All right. So if a woman wants to feel like her best self, most confident self in her body, all of the things, like bring in everything that we've just been speaking about, if she wants to bring that in this year, what is the first kind of inner shift she needs to make?
Number one, get very clear on how you want to look and how you want to feel. Okay. If it's around body, how you want to look, how you want to feel, get very clear because that's where you're going to manifest from as well and create. But just make one. I always tell everyone one change, work on the one thing. And then when you have nailed that and it's become, just a part of who you are, but become a part of that new identity, then work on another thing. And those slowly compound and stack towards this new identity. So I always say to people, just focus on one thing at a time. Like, don't change too many things at the same time because it's going to be too much for your nervous system to handle
Yeah.
and won't be sustainable. And you're going to go back to the way that you were. So just work on one thing. It could be one thing around moving your body. It could be one thing around your nervous system and one thing around your food. That's it. That's it. One thing.
I love that.
So
And it all adds up. It all
yeah,
adds up every day of doing that. Yeah, I love that so much. It used to be all about the overhaul and changing everything. And now it's like, no, just do it slowly. And then you'll reverse engineer it, right? Like you said, as soon as you get clear on that woman that you want to become, start doing the things that she does every day. And then slowly you will be her.
yeah,
You'll be her. Well, you
yeah,
could be her now, sorry. No, let's take back that belief. Not slowly you'll be her. You can be her now. You reverse engineer it. You just start doing it.
yeah. You are her.
You are her
It's
now.
actually, yeah, you actually are her already. It's just you've got to bring them into the physical.
Yeah,
You
I love
actually
that.
already are her because, everything that we dream and desire, that's our life path. Because otherwise we would all have the same dreams and desires.
Mm.
So whatever you're dreaming and desiring, that is for you. It's up
If
to
you
you
can
whether you have to do the
if you can
work.
envision it, it's for you.
Totally. But the question is, are you going to do the work?
Yeah. It's just one decision. Literally one decision. You decide, right? Sarah, this has been so great. I just looked up at the time. I was like, we've already been talking for 54 minutes.
Totally. Always with me. My
Yeah.
podcasts always go way over.
I know. We should get you back on the show to do the collapsing timelines because I'm doing it too. So let's reconvene in 6 months and see how life's changed.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah. And how can people reach out to you? Like if they're feeling really cool, they're feeling that energy, that frequency, they're really aligning with you. How can they reach out or start following your work?
Well, definitely follow me on Instagram, and I'm Sarah with no H. Sara McNelis. I'm not sure if you'll put my handle in the notes. Yeah. So definitely follow me on Instagram, and you can actually chat with me through Instagram. It's all me. My Instagram. It's not run by somebody else. And then we can talk about where you're at and align you into a program or anything like that. But I do a lot of free offerings as well.
Yeah, amazing. We'll link to everything in the show notes so we can continue on. Everyone can continue on the conversation with you. And as always, yeah, definitely circle back to both of us to let us know what you love from this conversation and what we should get, the next topic we should get Sarah back
I
to
know.
chat about. That'd be so good. Thank you so much. You've been amazing.
Thanks, Hayley. Thanks so much.
If this conversation sparks something inside you, if you're feeling that little nudge that says, I'm ready for more, then my 90-minute private one-on-one coaching sessions might be exactly what you need. These sessions are a really powerful space where we go deep together. We look at what's actually holding you back, what your body and mind are asking for, and we map out a clear, personalized path forward so you can start feeling confident, aligned, and truly amazing in your body again. This is not just a chat. This is a focused, transformational session where you get my full support and guidance tailored specifically to you. And because integration is where real change happens, you'll also receive 7 days of WhatsApp support after our call, so you're not left trying to figure things out alone. I do keep these sessions very limited each month because I want to be able to give each woman my full energy and attention. So if this is calling you, I encourage you to grab a spot while they're available. You can find the booking link in the show notes. For all the notes from today's episode, check the show notes under this episode description. If you found today's episode helpful, please share it with a friend who might need to hear this. And if you haven't already, hit subscribe so you never miss an episode. Until next time, keep glowing, keep growing, and remember, you are so worthy of feeling amazing in your body and mind. Mwah!